could be the second or third take. I'm still trying to get used to this camera. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm not used to having it all close to me. I was recording earlier and my hand hit a switch and my face was all blurry and the background was clear. I'm like, this can't be right. Welcome back to the channel. BTC Realm, also known as Biblical Truth Central. I'm Brother D, back with another video. So it's Friday. I didn't state in the last fitness video that I made that I want to make these videos on Friday, okay? So we can call it Fitness Fridays. Now, at first I wanted to call it like Flex Friday, but I'm like, man, they might not understand that fitness world lingo, so I'm just gonna be simple and say Fitness Friday. So that's what we're gonna do. One video a week on fitness every single Friday. Whether it's in the gym, whether it's outside of the gym, it's going to be something informative uploaded every single week just for you all, the body of Christ. I'm about to go ahead and get ready to do my morning cardio. This morning I'm going to do, I guess you'll see when I get there. I tend to do cardio every single morning for various reasons. We'll talk about that later on in the segment. Right now, like I said, I'm gonna take my supplements. There's a couple of things I like to take prior to my cardio. I let that sit in my system for about 30 minutes or so before I hit the gym, and then by the time I get there, I'm ready to go. It's a little hard for me to get going sometimes in the morning because I've been laying down all night, of course. Blood flow's not as sufficient. When you're laying down, it's a lot to ask your body to get up and to do something first thing in the morning. But when it comes to taking care of your body, there has to be choices that need to be made. There needs to be sacrifices that need to be handled if we're going to be healthy, saints. Healthy. All right? So I'll see you once I get in the gym. Peace. Okay, so inside of the gym now. I'm actually gonna do one of these treadmills over here. Usually I like to be the Stairmaster, but I do that like 95% of the time for my cardio. That can wear you out if you don't really time your recovery right. I want to start off fresh. I want to start off calm and collective and do something that's not going to require a lot of mental energy, but more so physical, which is going to be the treadmill. So usually I do about 30 minutes on here at a decent pace, and yeah, here we go. Oh, 30, 40, come on, 50, nice work, 60, 70, 80, 19. Okay, and we're back home. Oh, it's always a challenge, I'll say, to get up in the morning and make yourself exercise, but it's also one of the most rewarding things that we can do. You know, just the fact that you know that you're doing something sufficient for your body, which is, you know, exercising daily, every single day, and I mean every single day. You should be doing something. So I have my water here. This holds about almost a gallon of water, and this is actually a whole gallon right there. I drink about a gallon and a half of water a day, and I pretty much base that on my size. You know, the bigger you are, the more water you're going to require. You know, most people will say, well, just make sure you get a gallon of water in a day. That's a really good rule of thumb, but you cannot say that a person who is a woman who's 5'2", 130 pounds, and a man that's 6'4", 260 pounds, both need a gallon of water, and we can call that sufficient. That might be sufficient for the woman, but not necessarily the man. So you kind of have to gauge, you know, your personal size, your activity level, the type of climate that you live in. Again, you know, I stay in Florida. It gets pretty hot here, although it's not really hot now because it's winter. I think it's almost winter. So there's not a lot of sweating going on at the moment here. But nonetheless, I still try to drink at least 1.5 gallons of water a day. A gallon minimum, okay? So let me fix this. One of the most common things that happen to people is dehydration. Dehydration happens because individuals don't prioritize their water. They drink a lot of coffee, they drink a lot of soda, they drink a lot of energy drinks, juices, fruit juices, things of that nature, and very little water. Water is probably the most unpopular beverage that there is, but it's the most needed beverage that there is. You've probably heard in science class that your body is over 75% water, and that's true. So it's only right that we drink a lot of water. You lose water when you speak through the osmosis of evaporation. You lose water when you urinate. You lose water when you sweat. You lose water all the time, you know, without even thinking about it. So we constantly have to rehydrate ourselves over and over and over. Most of society is dehydrated. I did a study many years ago on this, and some research on it, I'll say, and I found that the mass majority of people are mildly dehydrated. Now, when you think of dehydration, most people think of severe dehydration, which leads to lethargy, dizziness, losing consciousness, rapid heartbeat, all these different things, dark urine. I'm not talking about that. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I'm basically talking about just a little bit of mild dehydration at the moment. So make it a priority. Drinking water, get it down by any means necessary. Work your way to doing 1 gallon, and then when you feel sorry, my battery died, but you know, praise the Lord, I have a backup battery, so I don't have to wait till it charges up. Amen. But like I was saying, challenge yourself. Drink as much of this, you know, as you can. You see what I get? I drink my water too. And there are some natural things that you can put in your water to make it taste good, okay? Now, let's talk about the topic at hand, cardiovascular training. Cardio is one of those things that people love and hate. It's time consuming, it's challenging, but it's also one of the most beneficial things that you can do when you go to the gym. You see, what I like about cardio is that it can be done in any environment. It can be done outside. It can be done in the privacy of your home. It can be done in the gym. It can be done anywhere. You just have to make the time to go ahead and do it. There's various types of cardio. As you saw today, I chose to do the treadmill. That's not necessarily my go-to. I like to do the Stairmaster. The Stairmaster is the hardest piece of cardio equipment in the gym. I like it because it challenges me. It helps me get my heart rate up fast. It helps me keep my heart rate consistent of about 70 to 85% of my max over the course of usually 35 to about 40 minutes. It varies. So that's another thing we'll talk about in a few minutes as far as how long you should do your cardio. But I did the treadmill today basically because it's, like I said at the gym, it's less taxing on me. The Stairmaster wears me out. It wears me out. The treadmill, I can go at a brisk pace. My heart rate isn't as high as the Stairmaster, so my body's not working as hard, and that's okay. Again, that really depends on the goal. My goal was not to push very, very hard this morning because I have a weight training session later in the day, so I'm going to have to come back and work out probably around, I don't know, 4 o'clock or so. It really depends on what I have going on. But if it's a day where I'm not really doing any weightlifting later in the day, I'll try to push it as hard as I can in the morning to you know, just to compensate for the lack of working weight training in the evening. Cardiovascular training is excellent for blood flow. Blood flow is one of those topics that we don't really hear a lot about. In the world of fitness, it seems that a lot of people are just completely focused on the cosmetic side, we'll say, the external, the body. Everyone wants to be smaller, everyone wants to be muscular, everyone wants to be lean. Nobody wants to carry subcutaneous fat, and if you don't know what that means, that's basically the fat tissue that you see under the skin, or the fat tissue that you can, you know, that you see. You have two different types of fat storages. You have your subcutaneous fat storage, which is the fat that you see with your eyes, and then you have what we call visceral storage fat, which is fat that resides around the organs. Now that's actually very, very dangerous. Okay, it's not so much the fat that you can see with the eyes, but it's the fat that accumulates around your arteries, around your heart, around your kidneys and things like that. Those are the areas that people should be the most concerned about, because that can cause a lot of health problems and a lot of issues that you truly really don't want. But cardio itself helps with getting rid of such. But blood flow, again, is one of those things that people typically don't talk a lot about, as if it's not important. Blood flow, in fact, is very, very important. It's important because our body parts depend on blood flow. Our legs, our arms, just different parts of the body depend on the way that the body is supplying blood to those areas. Okay, a body part that is lacking blood flow tends to be insufficient when it comes to usage. Your legs may hurt, your arms may hurt, your back may hurt, you may feel stiff a lot. A lot of that has to do with a lack of blood flow. Okay, cardiovascular training promotes better blood circulation, which is why I think that it is something that each and every one of us should do. You know, whether it's walking in the park, or whether it's doing the elliptical, or the Stairmaster, or the recumbent bike. You just choose whatever you feel comfortable doing. I'm not going to say one is better than the other, because we're all different. We all come from different walks of life. Some of us are more athletic, some of us are homebodies. It just really depends on who you are and what are your goals. You know, it really depends. Another great aspect of cardio is the fact that it promotes a caloric deficit. Now, when we're talking about calories, we're not going to talk about that in this video. We may talk about that in another segment, because that deserves another segment of its own, because it's so complex and it takes so much time. But in order for people to lose weight, you need to be in what we call a caloric deficit. You can create that deficit one of two ways. The first way would probably be through nutrition, which is lowering your calories. The second way is by increasing your activity, and the best way to do that is by implementing cardiovascular training. Okay, cardio is not a magic bullet. It is not the answer to all the problems when it comes to weight loss, because depending on how you use it, it could work for you as far as fat loss benefiting you in that manner if you're using it correctly. But if you're not using it correctly, you won't lose any weight at all. Really depends on your nutritional choices. But you still will reap the benefits of cardio, which is blood circulation, having a healthy heart as well. Our heart rates, you know, you have your resting heart rate. The heart rate that is probably going to be somewhere between 40 beats to about 60 beats per minute, depending on your size, depending on your activity level. Your heart rate is at its lowest when you're asleep, and it's at its highest when you are at peak performance with some sort of vigorous activity, exercise, we'll say. In this case, we're talking about cardio. The higher that your heart rate is, usually you want it between 75 to about 85% of your max heart rate. Max heart rate 95 to 100%. For me, that's about 175 to 180 beats per minute is about my max heart rate. So if I'm doing my cardio and I keep my heart rate between 150 to 160, that is about 80 to 85%, and that's pretty high. That's very intense, and it's pretty difficult to maintain for a long period of time. But if you're able, and if you're tough, and you are persistent enough to get your heart rate up to about 80 to 85%, you're gonna reap some fantastic benefits when it comes to your heart. I don't know why we don't talk about this more in fitness. Like, everyone's so focused on having muscles and being lean and having a small stomach, but nobody cares about their health, their heart health. A healthy heart, do I really have to go over the benefits of that? You live longer. Hey man, you live a lot longer. You feel a lot better. A stronger heart that pumps blood is going to send more blood throughout the body, including the brain. Cardio is great for mental capacity as well. Our brains needs blood too. It needs blood. So cardio in itself helps with that too. I do cardio every day, 7 days a week. Whether it's walking in my neighborhood, which you've all seen me do, or it's doing it on the Stairmaster or the treadmill or whatever I feel like doing. You know, maybe I want to hit a tire with a sledgehammer. Maybe I want to flip a tire. Maybe I want to do battle ropes. It really depends. That's just the intriguing world, I'll say, of cardiovascular training. Just pick whatever it is you want to do. Okay. Now, there are two ways that people track their progress when it comes to doing cardio. Number one, they like to go by time. Number two, they like to track their calories. Back in the days, I used to go by time. I would say, well, I want to do 30 minutes of cardio, and that's it. But then I found that, you know, that's not really feasible when you think about the type of cardio that you're doing. So if I was to do a stationary bike and the Stairmaster, both for 30 minutes, they're going to give me two different caloric burns. I'm going to burn a whole lot more calories on that Stairmaster than I will that stationary bike. And if my goal is a high calorie burn, then it's really not beneficial for me to do the bike, but I should get on the Stairmaster. So now I don't really track time, although my cardio does range between 30 to 60 minutes. What I'm really tracking between that time is the intensity of my exercise. And I'm typically going for a specific calorie burn. So whether it's 300 calories, 400, 500, 600, 700, whatever my goal is, that's what I'm going after. And however long that takes really is going to depend on my intensity. If I'm just kind of dragging my butt and just getting through it to get through it, it may take me a while. But if I'm pushing it hard and I'm just going hard and, you know, not letting up, it may not be as long as it would be if I was just dragging. So yeah, well, that's gonna do it for this video for this week on cardio. So the take home here is to do some form of cardio. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want to do, just as long as you are doing something, okay? Don't not do anything. You got to get up and you have to move. The first step to getting healthier when you have lived a sedentary lifestyle for too long is moving. That's the best thing you can possibly do, okay? Yeah, that's going to do it for this week's Fitness Friday, Flex Friday. Fitness Friday, we'll call it. Let's go ahead and go with that, Fitness Friday. Comment down below any questions that you may have. Any video topic that you would like to see for our Fitness Friday segment here on BTC. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new, please consider subscribing to this channel. Visit my website, please, www.biblicaltruthcentral.com, for videos that you will not see here on YouTube because the YouTube police is after me. God bless you again. Thanks for watching. Peace.